Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Henjie Carmelotes, and I will be one of the speakers in today's conference on science and technology research. So, I am the head of the department currently in our school, Beaconhouse Yamsaard School, Rangsit campus. I am in charge of the implementation of the academic program of the school. So, my topic is all about education and technology. So, my first question is, what is your perspective about the education today, tomorrow, and forever? We are going to answer that question as we proceed to my presentation in today's conference. I'm going to give you a paradigm about education that talks about learning process and at the same time the teaching process. So these two factors go together in the educational context. When we talk about learning process, we are dealing about the things that we acquire. These are the things that we learn through observation and through experience as well. On the other hand, when we are dealing about teaching process, it's all about preserving preserving the knowledge that we acquire and pass it to the future generation. And there are different factors as well of this teaching process. These two factors are influenced by technology. Right now, we are utilizing technology in order to mitigate the changes that we've experienced in our current situation. I'm going to show you series of pictures about my students and what I did in the past when I was still a teacher. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you the outline of my presentation for today. I'll be presenting teaching in the 21st century and learning as a dynamic process. I'm going to discuss the first one, the teaching in the 21st century. So here we are talking about the curriculum of the school, especially in the institution. According to Drake and Ride in 2018, there is an emerging international consensus on the importance of developing 21st century capabilities as part of the education curricula. Here, it shows that the curriculum should be showing competencies and integration among the different core subjects. This can enrich learning. In other words, the 21st century curriculum should be tailored to the 21st century framework of education. It means that the curriculum should be aligned to the success skills that students should have in order to meet the demand of the 21st century standards. When we talk about curriculum integration, we are dealing about how the core subjects are being integrated. So there are two programs that I would like to discuss to you. The first one is the project-based learning, which is also called PBL, and the other one is the STEM. I know you're familiar with these two, but if you're not familiar with these two, let me just give you a quick overview. PBL or project-based learning actually has 7 essential elements. It means that these elements are significant in order for the students to really achieve the purpose of the project that's given to them. So it also involves the utilization of technology inside the classroom, and it's the integration that's actually the most challenging part. It means that students are actually learning not only one kind of discipline but for other disciplines wherein they can find connections to different subjects, not only one subject as an individual entity or isolated subject. On the other hand, we have science, technology, and engineering, which involves the subjects like science, and most probably you can incorporate technology to build something, and then you can um, term it as an engineering activity. And then when we're dealing about engineering, we're also talking about numbers, so mathematics is also involved in that particular curriculum integration. Now I would like to talk about characteristics of a teacher. Teaching in the 21st century is very demanding. The teacher needs to be adaptable. The teacher needs to be tech savvy. The third one is the teacher needs to be collaborative. And the last one that I want to emphasize is that the teacher should be a lifelong learner. The next one is how education shapes human civilization, its vital part. If you can see, 21st century education promotes a student-centered curriculum classroom with authentic, relevant, collaborative, project-based learning. The teacher serves as the guide and the side and the facilitator of the learning, according to Hans in the year 2017. Now I'm going to talk about learning as a dynamic process. There are theories in learning according to different kinds of theorists: behaviorism, cognitive constructivism, and the last one is social constructivism. I'm going to discuss only the process of learning because there are different kinds of theory that I would like to discuss, but I would like to focus only on the process of learning. According to Alvin Toffler, the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So, what are these things that Alvin Toffler said in his statement? These are actually quite big words for us to understand the process of learning. I'm going to discuss further these three things as we move on to the next slides. The first process of learning is learn. It's the process that a student or individual experiences when first experiencing a new topic or idea. In this case, the student actually observe things, experience those things, and able to absorb the things that the learner observed or experienced. In this case, the learner tends to be curious and observant to its surrounding and able to ask questions so that the student has this enriched learning experience. The next one is quite interesting because this is something that talks about reviewing things, looking back for the things that's already being learned, and this thing is called relearn. It's the process of acquiring new information and previously known idea and adapting this new understanding with what was previously known and why this new meaning is more relevant to the current. This is according to the same person in the year 2008. The third one is called unlearn. It's the idea of erasing what was previously learned and replacing it with the idea that is more relevant for an individual situation. So this is actually erasing things that the learner thinks irrelevant already and replacing it to the things that more relevant and necessary to the situation, for example. So, to put it in a nutshell, learner can be successful if the learner knows how to learn, relearn, and unlearn things. Thank you for listening to my talk. Again, this is Henjie Carmelotes.